Good evening, folks. How are you? It's good to see you, and it's good to be seen by you. I hope you're having an absolutely wonderful evening this evening. I, of course, am your happy warrior host, me, Bill Sylvie, aka the Dungeon Delver, coming to you live, loud and clear on a Thursday, or as I like to call it, Friday Eve. But anyway, great old ones. Good to see you. Rabbit Day. The day just got better. My day just got better too because I'm here hanging out with you guys. Let me hit you up for something. Let me ask you a favor because I'm just kind of like that. I'm just a greedy Gus. And I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask you something real quick here. If you would, if you haven't already, would you please click the subscribe button and click the bell icon for notifications? And that would be super keen. I would really appreciate it. We could have a lot of fun if you'd stick around and check out our stuff, like our let's play games, our deep dives into D&D, or just put up our feet and chill nights, that sort of thing. Just however, whatever we do, come and be part of it. Come and be part of it. Great old ones, are you having problems finding the big theater performance channel? I thought that was the one that I saved. I honestly did. Let me come over here and see if I can find the correct stream for you here. Try this one. I have been directing people to the correct one, so try that one and see if that one leaves you vertical or horizontal, as the case may be. But anyway, yeah, subscribe. That would be super cool. Guys, we're at 7,615 subs on the channel. I'm pretty hyped about that because that puts us at less than 2,400 subs away from the GWOC, the Great Underground Overland Gaming Convention. Now, we're going to have a GWOC. We're going to have a GWOC of note. But imagine this. Imagine gathering here in the swamps of sunny Central Florida and sitting back and gaming and playing a TTRPG in person. Isn't that cool? Isn't that an awesome concept? Well, let's get over 10,000 subs here on the Delver's Dungeon, guys, and that will happen. I will make that happen because I'm touched in the head. That's just kind of the way that rolls. Anyway, so yeah, I would really like to do that. So click that subscribe button, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your enemies if you want to meet them in the parking lot at the con. And let's get that over the line there. Are there green hags in the swamps of Central Florida? There are, but we usually just call them Walmart employees down here. Psh. Hey, you'll like this one too. Thank you, great old ones. I appreciate it. The Blind Bard, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for the subscribe, by the way, the Blind Bard. And you have an awesome channel yourself. You know what? I'm just going to throw this out here. Everybody check out the Blind Bard here on YouTube. It is a cool little channel. What's with the partial screen? Are you talking about the Dungeon Master screen out here? Follow this link. The active link that was in the Discord that I also shared over on Twitter. Come over to that link, John D, and you will be able to join us in glorious 16:9 high definition. Anyway, so speaking of cool things that we like to do, and it does have to do with conventions as well. We have a guest tonight. We have a guest. This is a cat who I met up front in person at EggCon. He's a righteous dude. He's an all-around swell guy. He's got a Kickstarter he's going to talk about. And while he's here, if you kids are really nice and can behave, we'll talk to him about Page, which is coming up in January in Philadelphia. So without further ado, or a don't, I'm open to whichever. Everyone, please put your hands together for the one and only Mr. Ron Meischker. At least that's the only one I'm aware of. Ron, good evening, sir. How are you, my friend?
I don't know if I can live up to that hyped up introduction.
Well, hey, man, you know, I try. How have you been, my friend? Is it getting cold for you up there yet?
It is cold up here. It's very cold up in New Jersey, but that's okay. Things are heating up with our impending Kickstarter for Tomb of the Ancient Moor King, and things are really heating up for Page as well.
Smooth transition, my friend. Very smooth. Have you done this before?
Yeah, once before. At least.
Excellent. Well, that's real cool. And of course, you know, I want to pump the brakes here for a second, and let's take the off ramp to Serious Town. Guys, you've heard me mention this a lot. About I'm going to be at Page. This guy on your screen right here, he's over here in orientation to me, if you care. This guy is why. Ron approached me at EggCon and said, "What do I have to do to get you to come to Page?" And I was like, well, if I start walking now, I think I can make it out to New Jersey by winter of 2026. And Ron has brought it together and has decided to make me a guest up at Page. And dude, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you so much. I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm hyped. I'm going to bring some camera gear. I'm going to do some live streaming. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, we're really looking forward to that, and you're going to be doing a little run for us in our convention interview booth as well. So that'll be a good time.
Yep. I am, as they say, at your disposal. So if you need to compost me, there you go. You have my full permission. Some people say I'm already composted.
So. You know, my wife desperately wants to be get composted when she passes away. So she's already let me know, like, we're going to use this company and this is what they're going to do. And, you know, if you're not going to do it, I have to get somebody else to go through with it. And it's like every day it comes up.
She's planning this out, my friend. I would sweat that. But anyway,
0% chance I'm going to outlive her, so that's okay.
Don't. You know. Well, you know, we have the pillars in our lives while we get ground down, and that's all a good thing. So Page, tell me a little bit about Page, and I promise we're going to talk about the Kickstarter, but I want to pick your brain about Page a little bit. How long have you guys been doing Page now?
This will only be our third year, but we've grown rapidly. And of course, Page stands for Philadelphia Area Gaming Expo. But the first year, I said to myself, I'm going to be very happy if we get 500 people, and we ended up with 750 pre-registered and 1140 total. So we totally outkicked our coverage there. And then last year 2, we had over 1,800 people, and as it stands right now, we're trending towards our 1,300th pre-registrant, and we only, we're still 2 months away, and the busiest registration time hasn't even really happened yet. So I suspect we're going to hit the 2,500 number.
Man, that is phenomenal. 2,500 in 3 years is is amazing, dude. That is really kick-ass. I mean, particularly, and I mean, absolutely zero offense about this. You guys are basically doing this in the dead of winter on the heels of Christmas, and you're pulling a crowd like that.
Well, the January dates are pretty strategic. We had some people locally question us about, why are you running so close to PAX Unplugged, which is in Philadelphia proper, and we're about 30 miles west of there.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is we're a much different convention. We're very much RPG focused.
Mm-hmm.
We have over 1,100 events on the schedule this year, with 80% of them being RPG events. And everything you can pre-register for everything that's on the schedule. We're not, we have a board game library, but it's not board game focused like PAX is. And frankly, it's a different customer base. We're drawing people from around the country who are coming in for the role-playing games and the things, the guests and the things like that we have on the schedule. So they weren't even a thought when we thought about scheduling. It really came down to where we in comparison to Gamehole Con and Gary Con, because those are it's a similar audience, similar travelers going to the convention from around the country, and we wanted to make sure we were at different points of the compass in terms of the calendar than those two conventions, to give everybody time to plan out their schedule. But also, you don't want to force anybody to make a decision. I can only do one of these conventions because they're so close together. So we wanted to be apart from those conventions, and I'll throw North Texas RPG Con in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't want to be too close in proximity to them. Being in close proximity to PAX, it really wasn't an issue. It's not the same customer base, so.
Right on. Yeah, I've seen. This is not call out or anything like that, but I've seen the crowds that want to do PAX Unplugged, and I've seen the crowds that kind of gravitate more towards a pure TTRPG experience, if I will. And yeah, I mean, you're serving two completely separate audiences, right? I mean, it's like saying, oh, you're opening your pizza joint across the street from a sushi place, you're going to get killed. Well, no, the people who want sushi weren't going to come to the pizza joint anyway.
Right. And they're what I call adjacent customer bases. Mm-hmm. But they're about as similar as it would be for, if I were to go to an anime and pop culture convention and set up and talk about Page, there are people there who are going to be interested in the convention, but it's definitely a different.
Yeah. Your Venn diagram crossover
base, right?
is
right.
kind of splendor. But yeah, that's that sounds fantastic. I am really looking forward to seeing the vibe. And by the way, I have beat on this drum for a while, but maybe there's some folks, because we kicked up a few extra subscriptions to the channel here lately, and that's good. So in case you don't know, this is not just a flex over here, guys. This wood grain OD&D set. I have donated one of these to Page for their auction. So if you're up at Page and you don't win one of these here for the drawing on Christmas night, Page will be auctioning one of these sets. So just letting folks know. So that's Page, and you yourself, we're seeing you type, Ron.
Okay.
Yeah, you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to talk to you, of course, about the Kickstarter you've got going, Tomb of the Ancient Moor King, and let me go ahead and throw that Kickstarter up page. Now, this is not live yet, is it?
It's not live. It's in pre-launch mode over at Kickstarter right now. Now, I will say it's in pre-launch mode because we are looking to gain some momentum heading into it.
Mm-hmm.
It's all done. Everything's ready to go. So, it's just a matter of gathering the backers and going from there. But the module's written, the module is printed, the elevated options are ready to go, and we're in a good position with this one. We're going to hit the ground running with it, and we're going to turn it around pretty quickly.
Good. See, you're doing it right. And I always said, if I ever kickstarted anything, and Lord knows I probably won't, just because I'm lazy, but that's how I would do it. I would have everything racked and stacked, loaded in magazine, ready to rock and roll. I've talked to so many people about Kickstarters. I've talked to Reason T. I've talked to Aggie Angel. I've talked to Matt Finch. I could be here all night talking about this. So many TTRPG Kickstarters, and probably Kickstarters in general, they fail because they get the cover art, they get the concept, and then they launch the Kickstarter and they get $40,000 and then they burn out. It just disappears. The way to do this is have all your deliverables beforehand, be ready to go with everything. And I gotta say, I really appreciate the ethic here that you guys have got everything lined up, ready to go. That is the best way to do it, if you ask me, which few people do. But so tell us a little bit about the adventure. I mean, we can scroll through and read the Kickstarter page, but I want to hear it from you. Tell us about this.
Sure. This adventure came about because I wanted to run something for my home game that was taking place in a large moorland. And I was looking for a little more than a one-shot, but I was looking for some old school bang in terms of, go in, investigate, try to stay alive, and hopefully get out with some things. And the game went off so well that I started, play testing it as a tournament event. I ran it at a few conventions, received rave reviews about it. And, my wife was on me. She said, hey, you should begin publishing some of the things that you have, because I've got literally close to 1,000 pages of things I've written over the years that I haven't published. I've run them. I've, written adventures that I've never run. And, they're all kind of ready to go. To just, some of them are in notebooks. They got to be typed up. Others, you just need to put them together and clean them up. So I said, well, we'll give this one a try. So I got together with my good friend Chet Minton, who's an artist. And I think many people know Chet from, they've seen his art, Gary Kahn posters, North Texas, the New England-based conventions. And, Chet took on the task of all the artwork for the adventure, whether it be color or black and white illustrations. He really took what I wrote and brought it to life. It's almost, I couldn't be happier about what he poured into this. And then we I'm sorry, I was reading reading one of the chat comments there. But when we decided we were going to take it to Kickstarter, Chet and I knew we needed somebody really organized and really focused, and somebody who was going to beat us down if we weren't focusing on things things we should be doing. So we added Jen Glazer to our team. Of course, from Frog God and since she's going to be working with Parallel Dimension Gaming as well. So we formed a company called Orange Cat Games, and that's the three of us, and we're going to continue to produce things and put them out there in the public, with me being the principal author, Chet doing the art, and Jen cracking the whip.
Nice. Well, that is really awesome, man. And I love the, I love the genesis from, this was fun at our table to, hey, let's get this out there and see if, see if other folks like, and I mean, dude, come on, you to me, right? You can't miss with Chet Mitten's art. You just can't. It's
no,
you
can't. And it's interesting. I've had an opportunity to work with a lot of artists over the years through my job, and I've always described what I'm looking for to the artist, but you got to let the artist's muse kind of carry you, right?
Yeah.
And Chet really brought the pre-generated characters. You're not going to see much there because it's just the pre-launch. We don't want to give too much away.
Right. I was peeking. I was peeking.
Yeah. So for example, if you look on the screen there, you see a dwarf there to the upper left.
Yes.
That's one of the Gen's Emma Elfstopper. I had a description and he brought her to life. And the same thing with the halfling, the same thing with the bard, the same thing with the priestess there. And you know what? He started complaining to me because I wasn't giving him enough editorial feedback in his mind. And I said, no, Chet, you know what? I like that this is your take on what I, wrote up. I'm very satisfied with what you have here. If I wanted it exactly perfectly, like to a T of what I originally thought up, I'd be an artist myself, but I'm not, so I'm going to trust the artist to add their own, flair to it, or their own ideas to it. And Chet did just that. And as an example, the priestess there was supposed to have short hair, and the mage in the book, the sorceress, amongst the pre-gens, was supposed to have long braided blonde hair. Well, he got him confused, and he gave the mage this short, edgy blonde haircut. And he's like, oh shoot, I'll change all that. I'm like, no, it's one, I think she looks great, and I think the priestess looks great. And two, it's a lot easier for me to change the description than for you to change the art, especially because I'm totally satisfied with what you have here, right? So So it was very easy for the two of us to work with one another. But most importantly, Chet and I are like good friends, and we have a lot of fun together when we're hanging out, and it made it all that much easier to put this thing together. And I can't say enough about everything Chet brings to the table, not only for this adventure in Orange Cat Games, but for Philadelphia Area Gaming Expo. He's the art director there. He does the art. We have a very stylized bit of artwork to go along with Paige for our posters and our mascot and things like that. And Chet's the driving force behind that, and I respect the hell out of him.
Yeah. I mean, and I agree with you 100%. It's a lot of times it's easier to change the text than to change than to. I mean, I've gone out like and designed adventures and sent them out, and then with maps, and somebody comes back and says, hey, you said this quarter goes left at the intersection and runs 90 feet. You've got it going right. Do you want me to send the map file back to you to change? No. I will literally edit the manuscript and say it goes right. I would way rather do that. than sit and change any layout, any artwork, anything like that. So I completely get it. And it's nice when you see artists, and I use this term broadly, but I think you know where I'm coming from, misinterpret something, and it just turns into this lovely, happy circumstance. And I find most of the time those happy little accidents, as the late great Bob Ross called them, really actually do work for the best. The only one I can think of in TTRPG art where it literally just didn't happen was I love this anecdote. There's a picture in one of the OD&D books of a bugbear, and the bugbear has a head that's a jack-o'-lantern. And so how that came about was, I think it's Greg Bell was talking to Gary, and here's Greg Bell. He's like, the hell is a bugbear? And he's like, is it like a bear-sized bug? Is it a tiny little bear that's the size of a bead? What? He's like, no. It's a big, tall, like, think Bigfoot, big, shaggy with claws, and it's got a big head like a jack-o'-lantern. So, D&D.
Well, there's Ralph Partha has a miniature.
Yes.
That is a bugbear, and it's got a jack-o'-lantern head. But if I may, I want to address something, because there's been a question asked in the chat, and I want to make sure before it moves too far along.
Absolutely.
All right. So the question was, is this geared for 1E AD&D, this adventure? And somebody chimed in and said, I think it's geared for 2E, because a lot of people know that I love 2E. That's my favorite.
We still respect you anyway, Ron.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, I didn't say 4E.
You didn't. But I got a dump button for that.
Yeah. So the answer is, it's compatible with any old school variation of the original fantasy role-playing game, quote unquote. So, listen, if you go back to the old days when you were picking up Judges Guild product, or you're picking up, Mayfair / Roll Aids product, listen, it was all a little different, right? You had hits to kill, you had armor rating, these sort of things. You can run this from anything from original D&D up through 2nd edition D&D, no problem. You just make the subtle changes on the fly for your game, for whatever edition you're playing, and have at it. Now, I will say, there's very likely to be a Castles and Crusades version of this game out, of this adventure out.
Right on.
Because the folks from Troll Lord Games plan on running it as a tournament at Page. And one of Paizo's chief demonstration teams, Order of the Amber Die, is going to be running it as Pathfinder 2E at the convention as well. So, you'll see those come out, and whether they're stretch goals for the Kickstarter or not remain to be seen. But they'll, this is going to be out there in a few versions. And I would, if I were a betting man, which I'm not, but if you were a betting man, you might want to bet on, you'll probably see some Shadow Dark version of this as well.
Excellent. And I know that's going to please a lot of people. And you're absolutely right. We actually, I grabbed one of our regulars around here. He plays in our Tuesday night AD&D live stream that we do. You guys out there, audience land, know great old ones. We talked a little bit last night, just kind of casually, about old MERP and Rollmaster. And even back then, MERP and Rollmaster would kind of give a nod and a wink to AD&D and say, hey, if you use a system that uses 3d6 for stats, here's how you convert to such a system. They never said AD&D, they never said TSR, they never said D&D or anything like that. They hewed very carefully away from getting in legal hot water. But yeah, I mean, it's all it's all the same language that springs forth from the Latin of original D&D. Am I right? I mean, it's
Right.
like it's I guess what Ron is saying, what I'm trying to back him up with here is that is it an OD&D adventure? Is it an AD&D adventure? Is it second edition adventure? Is it Castles and Crusades? Is it Shadow Dark? The answer is yes.
I can run. Listen, I have tons of Castles and Crusades stuff. I've never played a game of Castles and Crusades. That's not a commentary on what I think of the system. I've just never played a game, but I can pick up a Castles and Crusades adventure and turn it into a D&D second edition, a D&D first edition, like on the fly.
Yeah.
Without question. So I'm not really worried. I don't think people should really worry about that too much.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's not a, it's, to go back to the food analogy, a good meal is a good meal. Look, whether you're getting it from place A, place B, you're getting it with pickles or without pickles, you're getting it with gravy or without gravy, it's gonna be good, guys. It's gonna be good. I'm excited about this. So now let me pick your brain a little bit about it. If you don't want to spoil anything, I understand.
Right. Yep.
No peeking. Do not open till Xmas. But is this going to kick off a larger series of adventures, or is this bottle? Is this strictly standalone? Do you see this blossoming into, say, a larger campaign setting?
I don't know if I'll go that far with it. I think the goal is to write adventures, but this could very well become part of a series of adventures. There's actually a second part to this adventure that it's more a continuation of it, a natural continuation of it, and it's written. It's on the playtest. My home group, they only managed to get into the first 3 rooms before they collapsed the whole place down around them.
Excellent.
So it hasn't truly been play tested yet, though I have a sneaky suspicion it'll be a good adventure. The problem was they decided to summon an earth elemental and have them start bashing through things and cause a collapse, and that wasn't good for anybody. But
accidents will happen.
Yeah. So Bill, you asked a question like, why did we decide to go this route? Well, when I originally put this out as a convention exclusive adventure for the upcoming page, and I put it out for pre-order. I got Chet to agree to do the art. We worked together on it. We printed it and produced it. In fact, it's back here, right there, kind of. So, hold on. This is the convention version of it right there.
Oh, right on.
So we put out 100 numbered modules that would be signed for pickup at the convention. They sold out in 36 hours. So I felt like and people who aren't coming to the convention couldn't get it because we weren't going to ship it. So for every person who crowded in to buy it, who's coming to the convention, there were 6 who reached out and said, well, can I get one shipped to me? So that's what really came up with the idea. Okay, we'll launch a Kickstarter. We'll have the Kickstarter kind of culminate at page. For anybody who's there who couldn't get an adventure, they can get in on it. And then, we'll go almost immediately to fulfillment after that. So, yeah, I mean, I feel pretty good about where it's at. And, you can catch some of Chet's cool artwork here on the back cover.
Lovely.
You see the blonde-haired mage there with her very edgy haircut.
Right.
And so yeah, I mean, he did a great job with it. And you know, we had a lot of help. I'm not going to show too much, but you know, it is a very old school adventure. You know, the cover comes off. You can see we have like
as it should.
We have an old school blue map, which I'm not going to reveal too much of, but you know, Troy Allman from Cannonball Publishing did the cartography for it, and
nice.
You know, he did a great job. And some other people consulted in getting this one, the tournament adventure, you know, off the ground, so to speak. You know, we had editors who were you know, some local folks who are gamers. They jumped in and edited it. And they're actually the two people who are going to be turning it into the Pathfinder 2e adventure. And, you know, we've got, you know, Levi Combs had a pretty big hand in this.
Oh.
He really just with advice and contacts, he introduced us to a great layout person who helped out with the layout. And, you know, even Baron DeRop did a little bit of consulting on this. So, you know, it takes a village, and the village heeded the call for some help, and I'm very happy with the end product.
Well, that's awesome. And hey, if you ever get that it takes a village mindset about this project again, don't forget you might need a village idiot. So give me a call. I kid. But you know, you mentioned the blue, and so I've got to quiz you on this. Now, you probably know this, but because I did post a YouTube short about this the other day. But do you know why they're blue? Do you know why the maps are blue? Don't blurt it out if you do. Do you know why the old school maps were blue? Do you know? I'm asking yes or no. Do you know? He is typing.
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you. Do you, Ron? Do you know why the old school maps are blue?
I always assumed it saved on pricing.
Well, it did save something, or it tried to save something. So I'm gonna lay the science on you. You can drop this on people as you conversate about these modules. Back in the day, printers, and they still do this today, by the way, you can buy pencils, you can buy paper, you can buy the rub down, I don't know what it's called, where you actually, it's a big sheet of plastic and you draw on it. It's like a transfer paper. They're all in that same shade of blue. That shade of blue is called non-repro blue. It does not photocopy, at least not easily, in black and white. So if you want to do layout and design and make a bunch of markup notes on something that you don't want to photocopy, that you don't want the pre-press to pick up, you use that shade of blue. TSR used it to stop people from photocopying the maps. Unfortunately, this can very easily be defeated with a yellow sheet of translucent plastic like you get for report covers, because it turns it dark green, which a black and white photocopier then goes, oh, that's black. I can photocopy that, no problem. So that is why that blue tone is used, and it is called non-repro blue. And now you know.
No.
And you folks out there in the audience who may not have heard that, you now know that too.
And knowing is half the battle, folks.
And the other half is red and blue lasers. So, but anyway, so you're doing the full court press. I love a detachable map cover, man. That scratch it. That is the psychological ASMR for me. I love that you're doing the removable map covers. Did you getting that printed? Did you? What was it? just literally a matter of going into a print shop and saying, hey, don't staple the covers on these, staple the books inside, don't staple the covers? Or did you have to sit down and say, look, the covers have to come off?
Well, interestingly, we're going to do a little Chet Minton trivia now.
All right. Mintonize me.
Okay. Chet, little Chet, when he was growing up, back when he had red hair, worked in a print shop for over 20 years. So Chet actually knows printing, like it's his knowledge of printing techniques, paper quality, grade, everything is makes my eyes glaze over when he starts talking about it. So he has the ability to talk to a printer and say, this is exactly what I want. I want it this way. I want the stitching this way. I want, this is where I want the crease in the cover. I don't want it attached. Like, that would have been a struggle for me to get through that. He was able to communicate with a printer that he's used, a US-based printer. In fact, the same printer that does his coloring books that he sells. And he went over with them, and I will tell you, we sent them the PDF to print. They printed 100 modules with 100 separate covers. They were to me in less than 7 days. It was that fast getting it printed. In fact,
wow.
Yeah. In fact, we might have printed a couple of extras, so, to share with our friends. But point is, they turned it around. I think he sent it to them on a Saturday. We approved it on a Sunday, and it was to me by Thursday. So it was fast. It was really fast, and the quality is great. So,
dude, that's awesome. That is so great. There's that you can reach out to a printing company these days. It's not some arcane thing where it's like my sister used to work at a printing company engraving plates. Like, that's how long ago that was. They engraved plates to do printing. They worked with acid. They did wax removal and stuff like that. And there, it's like, oh, hey, we need this fixed. Well, that's a completely different print job. Now we get to renegotiate that. And a month was a good turnaround time, depending on what you were getting printed and how much of it. But this, as you say, you found a local printer, a week's turnaround time for TSR trade dress modules is absolutely lovely. And I'm so glad for you guys that you were able to get that, to get such great turnaround time on that. I may pick your brain. I'm not going to say there'll never be any print Delver's Dungeon modules, and I certainly wouldn't hate to have a company that understands, don't staple the covers, print the maps in blue.
That's right. Well, we did make it easy. We gave them finished PDFs, so like they didn't have to do any layout. They didn't have to do anything. They just needed to do it to the specifications that Chet provided, the printing specifications that he provided in terms of quality and stitch style and all that sort of thing. Yeah. And, that makes it easy. That, in terms of like us as a company going to the next project, I just have to worry about, writing and or, pulling out old things that I've written in the past and getting them in the game shape, right? In the production shape. If I don't have to worry about those details because somebody else has it, that's great. Like Chet doesn't have to worry about the writing. I don't have to worry about the art or the printing. And the only thing the two of us have to worry about is Jen potentially stabbing or beating us about the head and torso with a blunt object.
I don't know. That sounds like a good weekend to me, but no, that's fantastic, man. You know, I love to hear about, you know, turnkey stuff like that. And this is something, if I can heap praise on someone else for myself, and this directly impacting you.
Mm-hmm.
The whole reason I was able to do the box sets and get one to you guys at Page and one over to Heidi and Eric at EggCon for the auctions. Same deal, basically. Matthew Tapp, God bless him. You know, he laid all this stuff out. He gave me exact paper requirements, and I paid for a set of OD&D PDFs, and he fixed them up in the oldest trade dress, and then I just fed him through my printer just like that. I would still be fumbling around trying to figure out how to do it if it was up to me. You know,
right.
I'd just be like, look, can I just photocopy mine, staple them together, and mail them to y'all? Will that work? But no, it's awesome that you're able to get not just the turnkey from the printer, but to get the layout done. That is you know, that is something. I'll tell you the truth. I have a few free modules floating around out there that I have done over the years. I started doing them back in 2004. I think I started giving those things away, and God help me, I laid them out in Word, just by hand. I just took a ruler. I measured the inside of AD&D modules. I said, that's got to be 3.5 inches. That's got to be 3.5 inches. That's a 1/2 inch gutters, and go on. And of course, you know how it is in a Word document. You drop a piece of art in there and it just like, whoa, your whole document's screwed up. Right. So yeah, my hat is off to anyone who can do layout and get it to look good. And I'm so glad you guys have got that going. Now, let me ask you this: camera resolution being what it is, as far as the text, can you give us just a quick flash view? Just maybe hold one open and let us have just a quick sneak peek at that interior. I'm a sucker for this. You guys out in the audience are like, Bill just wants a peek. No, I like this so much. I'm not even going to zoom you in. I'll just I'll drool over it later. But all
right, so it is perfect for you old guys.
Oh yeah, that's the stuff. That's it.
It's not super tiny. Okay, but you know, not regular ruled. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I you know, it's funny. I shared it with a bunch of people out at Gamehole Con, and when I say people like Alan Hammock and Frank Menser and Zeb Cook, and they were very gracious with their time, and they all commented like, the print's like perfect because it's not too tiny. It's not like, they were all very excited about the print size, because sometimes people try to jam too much in because they don't want to go over their page count, and it ends up making the font too small. So this is a very comfortable read, especially for those of us that are getting older, and you know, it works. So there was a question from, what's that, Kane Q1?
Kennick.
Kennick, who's that in real life? Is that the young lady from out there in Illinois?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to dox anybody.
Or Wisconsin.
You probably met her. You probably met her at EggCon.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So I will say to you, since I know you are, you asked a question about fighter, magic user, and cleric. If you follow me on Facebook, which I know you do, because you're a stalker.
Yes,
she's a bit of she's a little stalky. That's okay. We like stalky. You got hugs from me at EggCon. Mm-hmm. It's very nice. But we're actually, as part of the lead up to the launch of the Kickstarter, we're doing like a little a little, I don't know what you would call it, little features called Meet the Pregens. And what we have is we have the character portrait of the pregen. We have the miniature, because one of the levels of the Kickstarter will be miniatures for the pregens. And you get the miniature, you get the character, and it has the character name, and it has their class, and and it talks about Tomb of the Ancient War King, so to speak. So yeah, so you can start seeing them. We've released 2 of them so far, and one is the Dwarven Warrior, Emma Elf Stomper, and the other is the half-elven mage, Delilah DeAndrea. So you can kind of get a little bit of the flavor about the pregens.
Nice. That's excellent. There's one thing I happen to have this open, still, the document on the desktop. For those of you who are wondering about, what's he talking about? I want to share something real quick, and unfortunately I gotta do this, but we're gonna bring this back. I want to point something out for maybe some of our younger players, or those of you who haven't quite hit the wall yet. This lovely image that you see right there on your screen is at 100% magnification. This is a page from the Dungeon Master's Guide.
Greatest book ever written.
Greatest book ever written.
For D&D, yes.
Absolutely. That is about an 8.5 point 20th century MT font. I can't read that with my readers off. I certainly can't read the text in the book with my readers off. So if you see this and you're like, that looks a little bigger than the font that's actually in the modules, I don't know that that's right. Trust me, these eyes started reading that book at age 13 and could see it just fine. That was 40 years ago, and I can no longer read that. So thank you very much, Ron, for putting that increased size font, but the layout and everything is still as it should be, which is very important. People don't think that trade dress matters, but it does. It absolutely does. That look, there is an aesthetic to it. It's like, would you buy a copy of Physical Graffiti if it was packaged like a disco album? No, you wouldn't. You don't have to answer that, right? You want that gorgeous Hypnosis cover is what you want, and that's what you get here. And I'm sure a great adventure. See, do you see how polite I'm being to you, Ron, by not trying to pick your brain about the adventure? Because I really want to.
Well, the key is it's meant to be something that you can play as a one-off, and if you want to play it with the pregens, great. If you want to run it with your own group at home, it easily fits anywhere. And it doesn't belabor you with background and history and all that. I mean, that's like a page and a half in this adventure. The rest of it it's meant. It's an easy hook to get into it, and it's meant to get the party like, let's go. You're jumping right into it. We're not wasting a lot of time farting around at the inn or doing any of that stuff. So, but I will reveal a little bit about the hook if you want a little.
All right, go ahead. An exclusive right here on the Delver's Dungeon, folks. Bring your kids around the computer. This is important. Okay, Ron, hit us.
All right, so the adventurers are contacted through emissaries of a famous adventuring bard who is looking to put together an adventuring party, and they went through their interviews and discussions with the emissaries, and they were selected to meet with the bard and discuss what he has in mind. When they arrive, they find that the bard, despite the the legendary bard, they find not some great dashing adventurer, they find he's a little more than a little old man now. And he explains to the adventurers, hey, I have received information about the location of some sort of ancient tomb. It doesn't look like it's been opened in who knows how long. We know very little about it, but we believe it could be over a millennia old. And though my heart is in wanting to go in and plunder and see what's there, I know that adventuring's a young person's game. But I would still like to sing songs about adventurers and about their successes. So his offer to the party is he will turn over the information that he has, and the party can keep whatever they find. He wants no commission. But the one thing that he insists on is when the party comes out, win, lose, or draw, they have to tell him in painstaking detail about what they encountered there and how they overcame it. And, in a tournament play, that's a key element at the end of the adventure. That gives an opportunity for role playing at that point. And the pre-gens have 5 personality traits that are listed on their sheet. There's like a 3-sentence background, and then the players put their own spin on it from there. But that's the hook to the module. This bard, he can't do it anymore, but he can still play and sing about it. And he wants you to bring him the story of what happened down there so he can spit it into his next great song.
That's awesome, dude. I like that. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for discussing, the backstory. And because I tell people, like, how many pages do you think the Studying the Hill Giant Chief is? I'll just jump to the end. It's 8 pages long.
That's right.
That module that was the pad 39A for so many summers worth of adventures, so many Christmas breaks worth of adventures, is 8 pages long. Brevity, thy name was Gygax. Even if Gary had gone full ham and put stat blocks in for everything rather than saying, here are 4 hill giants, 32, 29, 28, 37 hit points. Even if he'd gone full ham and put that in, it would be like, it would still be 8 pages. There would just be like one less block of art in there.
It's 8 pages, knowing that like one half of one of the 2 columns on a page is taken up by the contents of a giant's pouch.
Yes. Right? Exactly. It is so delightfully brief. As a DM, it is such a breath of fresh air. I mean, people talk to me about it's a meme now, my character's 9-page backstory. But honestly, what do you need beyond, I want to adventure and win treasure? Your backstory is what you make after you go. You talk about that time you were at the keep on the Borderlands, the time you helped beat out the slavers, the time you looted the Temple of Elemental Evil, and so on and etc. That should be your backstory. And I love a module that caters to that mindset. Now, if it sounds too much like I'm glazing Gary, I mean, he handed off Temple of Elemental Evil to Frank Menser, and Frank has, I think, 36 column inches of box text in the lead up to the temple. It's a lot of reading if you are going to do it verbatim to the players, so it's like a night and day kind of difference there. And I love the fact that you're taking the lightweight approach, because that does make it utterly portable into anything. People think that more details, that Baroque over explanation, that all these Byzantinian hooks and and designs and make sure that you address the this, that, and the other makes something fit more systems better. And and I know it doesn't. The lighter weight boat floats best. So I'm very glad to hear that this has a lightweight but still a robust sounding hook, if you will. I love that. So again, I thank you, and I look forward to getting my mitts on a copy of this.
Oh, you will. Don't worry about that. We have one put aside for you.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Now you've talked about potentially a series of modules. Will assuming for a second you're going there, let's look down the road a little bit. It's a little dangerous to abandon process thinking and think about further down the road, but we'll take that risk. Will you keep these as kickstarted convention modules, or will you shift into a slightly more traditional pipeline of retail distribution, or at the very least through whether you're an e-tailer or a retailer?
I think we're going to go customer direct as much as possible.
Right on.
And it's nothing against selling to retailers. I'm sure we can work out things with individual retailers, but if recent history has taught us anything, it's dangerous. It's a little dangerous, especially for a small company, to deal with consignment deals and things like that with distribution. And yeah. I don't think we need to do that. I mean, I think part of what makes people, what makes Chet so popular is that, he's a real person and he will talk to you and have a conversation with you. It's the same thing with me at conventions or at Page or online. Like, we're approachable and we like those relationships and the friendships we've made. So why not just sell direct? Why should we have to mark it up any more than we have to when we sell to the distributor, to have them market, or the store, and then have them mark it up? We can get it directly into the hands of gamers. We're not impacting any game store's bottom line with our little game adventure that's out there.
Sure. And I mean, if the unfortunate reality is if you're dealing with a retail bay and limited amount of space, particularly in this economy, in this reality today, we don't, your smaller retailers, they've got a difficult decision to make. Do they want to order a case lot of slop of the AI King from Wizards of the Coast, which will unfortunately sell, or take a chance on a small product that might sell? And that's where going direct to the customer is such a boon for the small creator. And I think that's a very wise move on your choice. I guess to get a little bit more specific, what I'm saying is, are future modules in this series going to be kickstarted and con exclusive, or initially con exclusive, or is this the only one in the series that you'll do this with, and then later con modules will be something different? If I'm making sense, I'm sorry.
I understand. Yeah. I suspect we won't do this again like this. If we're going to kickstart it, it'll be a Kickstarter. If it's going to be a convention exclusive, it'll be a convention exclusive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. just a happy confluence where things just kind of converged together nicely. With, you can do the Kickstarter, you can do it direct, and then you can also have it as the convention module. I think that's absolutely wonderful. And we're getting some questions out here, and I hear you typing away there. You can't hide from that. But folks are asking when this will be live. So do we have a concrete date yet, Ron?
The concrete date is December 17th, I believe, that we're going to go live. Let me see. I don't want to get it wrong, so Jen doesn't beat me down. But I believe
revving up her chainsaw.
I believe it's the 17th, and oh, hold on, I'm in the wrong browser. That's why I'm not seeing anything. Here we go. All right, so I am looking.
Yeah, Joe, Joe Kaufman out there. I'm going to be at Page, but please don't let that prevent you from going. Go anyway.
I'm scrolling through. Give me one moment.
That's fine. Jen, if you're out there watching, chime in the chat. I don't think
that. Here we go. I found it.
Woohoo!
We will launch the week of December 14th. So it's likely to be the 16th or 17th officially. And the Kickstarter will run 35 days. So that way it runs through the Philadelphia Area Gaming Expo, so people there can sign up if they want.
Well, there you go, guys. There you go. It will be at the you can sign up for it at the con. You've got you've got plenty of time to go and click. And I'm gonna share that URL again. Let me make sure I've got the right URL. Bill, why'd you send me to sportsbetting.tn? What is that? Let's see. There you go.
I got a couple of links for you in the.
Yes. Okay. And I see your link to the launch video. Do you want to set that clip up and we can have a look at it? I cannot guarantee that it's going to play sound.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to warn you in advance. If you saw the nightmare patchwork of software and hardware that it takes, ask anybody in my audience, and they'll tell you that since 2020 I have fought sound issues on this live stream. So
what I'll tell you, I can set this up. So okay. I am not a graphic designer. I am not a video person, but I did this video myself and I think it turned out pretty good. And it does have music, which is pretty cool. So hopefully we have the sound.
All right. All right. So let me grab this URL here for a second, and we'll see. And what I will do is I will make sure that this can be heard, and I will leave it up to the audience to let me know if they can hear it, because even when stuff does play sound, I can't hear it on the monitor here. Yeah, I'm not. It's a lot of stuff, Bob, and one of these nights when I do another just open chit chat, I'm going to sing my epic of woe about this. So let's go ahead, and because it's already pulled up there, and all I got to do is press enter, and you guys will have. Well, damn it! See, all right. Again, you guys out there in audience land will have to tell me if that's making any noise.
No, there's no sound. but that's okay. They can see what it's about. And
alrighty, that's a lovely photo of Chet and Mrs. Minton there. But sorry, that was awful of me. Let me see. No sound. You know what? Let me maybe. Sometimes unmute tab.
Here, I'll
site.
I'll post it in the chat, and then if people want to check it out, you have to click the unmute at the top of at the top. By default, it mutes. I don't know what that means, but
all right. So I unmuted the tab again, guys. If you can hear that, wonderful. If you can't, again, you can go check it out. I threw the URL in, and you can see that it's wonderful visuals. I'm just going to say straight up, it's wonderful visuals. So, and you get a really good look at that sexy cover with the old school look. Now I see the and minis there. As a man who is a proud owner of a massive shelf of shame, if it's not too much of a spoiler, can you tell me? And we'll skip back over to the Kickstarter page. Can you tell us a little bit about those yummy minis that we saw on the screen there in the video?
They're resin miniatures that we designed. They match up well to the drawings that Chet put together based off the descriptions of the pre-generated characters, and they're 28 millimeter. And I'm going to reveal a little bit more now. One of the Kickstarter options is that you can get the entire tomb broken out into a 28 millimeter map.
Oh, wow.
That you can use with the miniatures, and the map is drawn by Chet. So it's a cool map, and you'll have, if you want to use the pre-gens, great. If you're going to use if it's your home campaign and everybody's already got miniatures, that's great too. But there's a few different options for folks buying this. So
excellent. That's wonderful. And again, I'm a mini gremlin. I have lots, and I can always use more. So that's pretty cool. And if you guys out there are of that same breed, then check those out. Pause as those glide by. Now, I'm sorry if I got my wires crossed on this. Did you say Chet designed the minis?
No, I actually did it.
Okay. Very cool. Well, that's a nice hand, my friend.
I did them based off of Chet's art.
Okay.
I tried to make them as close to the art as I could make them.
Well, for the brief view that we got, that was really good looking, dude.
Yeah.
They
turned out well. Yeah.
Now what I gotta ask this, because I 3D print. That's mostly what I do for minis nowadays. Oh, I need 10 goblins. Ha ha ha. 3D printer goes whir. But what 3D modeling software are you using?
That's a trade secret.
Fair enough.
I can't give away everything.
I completely understand.
I can't give away everything. So, but
I understand.
I've been monkeying around with 3D printing and model configuration since really resin printers became a thing, and they look good. Pretty happy with them.
AZ Mountaineer says there'll be a cage match at the end of the discussion. We're about 1,500 miles apart, so we won't be getting into the circle squared not here. But
it wouldn't be fair, because I outweigh Bill by probably 75 pounds. So
we're
not in the same weight class.
Not hardly, my friend. But anyway, and honestly, you wouldn't want two titans like this. We would crack the surface of the earth. All right, we would cause planetary disruption. The world spins into the sun. It just would be horrible. You wouldn't want that to happen. So we're gonna. I like to do at this point, unless there is something specific more that we did not discuss that you would like to. I'm going to open the floor up for questions. And while folks are formulating their questions that don't have to do with you and I engaging in MMA battles, I do want to bounce a few questions off of you. And by the way, Ron and I have talked before. If you guys are like, wait a minute, haven't you talked to this guy before? Yes, we have. Very good for you. We had a little thing at EggCon. You and I sat down at EggCon and chit-chatted, and I've got that reach. I'm a tall guy. But I honestly, my old person brain is kind of dull at this stage in my life, and I may or may not have had a beer that afternoon. So I got to ask you the fun boilerplate questions.
Sure.
When, so what was your introduction to D&D? When did you jump on the team for the big win?
Oh boy, 1980 or 81. Mm-hmm. My family, we lived kind of in the middle of nowhere on a dead end street, and when you think of New Jersey, you don't think there's the middle of nowhere anywhere, but it's South Jersey, and there's not a lot around. Right. Right near the Pine Barrens, and there was only one other. There was only one other house on the street, and it was about a quarter mile away. And there were two kids there. One was like 3 years older than me. One's a year younger than me. And there were some other kids about a mile down the road. And the older one said, "Hey, I've got this game called Dungeons and Dragons. You guys want to play?" And we said yes, and we played, and like I was immediately hooked, as were the others. Like it kept us out of a lot of trouble when you live in the middle of nowhere, where your toys are rocks, and there happens to be a 2-lane highway that runs through the middle of the woods. You can imagine the kind of things that you could get up to.
Oh yeah.
And it kept us out of a lot of trouble over the years, and I loved it. And let's fast forward, 45 years. So I'm on another person's program, and there's somebody blasting the chat going, "I was Ron's first DM." And the host says, "There's somebody on here saying they were your first DM." I'm like really? What's his name? And it said the name. I was like, yeah, that was my first DM. I haven't talked to the guy in 35 years, probably.
Wow.
We
Wow.
Went away to college, and he stayed away. I moved away. And so the interesting thing is he's coming to Page.
Oh man, that's the story of the year right there, brother. That is fantastic.
A lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to that.
That is great. I think that's just wonderful. I do want to mention some of you guys talking about Joe Kaufman said sounds like an area on the borderlands. Now I as a Southerner know this, and this is something that a lot of people, you should really acquaint yourself with this. New Jersey is not like Jersey City and New York City adjacent, and it's all just Atlantic City, and it's all just a mess, guys. It is rather like Florida. You get like 30 minutes outside of a city in the state of New Jersey, and you are in the middle of freaking nowhere. You are in the piney woods. You are far from humanity, and it is you are in the deep wilderness up there. So yeah, you guys have plenty of wilderness still up in that part of the world. I mean, as small as our world gets, there's still places where one can get lost, and living out there, that must have been something as a kid, to like you say, you had a 2-lane road and rocks as toys. So.
Yeah, no, pretty much. And Brian Keena, who's in the chat here, B Keena, he's been out to my house. I live on a farm, so my wife and I have a small farm here, so it's literally the middle of nowhere where I live. But yeah, and that just started a lifelong love for gaming. And I'm not one of these people who went away from it and then came back, as so many have over the years. Like, I've consistently gamed throughout the years, and I still enjoy it thoroughly. And I enjoy new games. I collect games. I collect role-playing game stuff specifically. In fact, I picked up a miniatures game today that now I'm like mesmerized by it. It's called Harefoot Jousting, and it's about halflings who ride on geese and weasels, and they joust with one another. And there's actually a campaign game for it where your riders can improve and everything. It's like a mix between Blood Bowl and D&D and Joust, I guess. But I'm absolutely mesmerized by the idea of running convention events where I set up a little halfling arena where there are jousting tournaments. I'm looking forward to it. I've already kind of scoped out that maybe EcclesiaCon will be where I'll debut that. If not, maybe EggCon.
Well, I mean, with the next time you're back up at EggCon, if you're going to joust, you got to talk to Paul Stormberg, man.
Yeah, well, I know. We'll see, but this is literally halflings on like pigs jousting. It's a very rules light thing, and it sounds like a lot of fun.
Excellent, man. That is wonderful. That sounds so cool, and I do this a lot. So my gaming window tends to be a little on the narrower side, but that is fantastic. And I love the fact that you found something you can pick up. Just today, I was talking over on Twitter about, hey, there's Chet Minton. Chet snuck in.
Oh, there he is. He is. He's Chet, you missed when we were gushing romantic about you.
I'm gonna, hey, Ron. Ron, you can see the private chat area. I'm gonna send you something. I want you to send this to Chet right now. You DM that to Chet. Please don't put it out here in the public comments. But let's see if we can make that happen.
Why have you sent me a nude photo of yourself?
I asked you not to tell everyone.
No, you asked me not to show anyone.
Damn it, Ron. Anyway,
all right, hold on. We'll see
if you can send that to him.
I will. I'm sending it to him now.
All right, but anyway, yeah. So I was asking over on.
Yes, Chet. It's all egg. It's like an acorn, all cap and no stem. Yes.
Yes. Oh God. But anyway,
he said that was Chet's words, not my words.
Gonzalo Liris Bartab, you're upsetting the witness, Ron. But no, I asked, God damn it, I'll finish this sentence. I will. I asked on Twitter today, I said, I wish there was a modern tank game that is main battle tank, not septic tank, a modern tank game that was beer and pretzels light, like BattleTech. And don't tell me, oh, you can use this mecha game. You just have to design all of the vehicles and weapons yourselves. I want a game I can go in a store, buy, 3D print, or get some miniatures for, and sit down and play. And that, like, I would really enjoy that. And then somebody said, hey, have you heard of Team Yankee? And I know the book by Harold Coyle. And there was a video game and a comic book, but I was only vaguely aware. So I found out that exists. I hope I get a chance to play some. I love all of that convoluted mess to say. I love playing lightweight games. And speaking of things I love, hey, Joe Kaufman, thank you for the super sticker. Joe Kaufman there, keeping the lights on and keeping the swear jar full. Thank the hell out of you. I love your damn guts. Thank you. Speaking of people we love, guys, never underestimate the power of the Delver. This is like the fourth time I've done this in the last 7 days. I just reached out and grabbed someone and dragged them kicking and screaming on the show. This time, with Ron's help. Everybody, please put your hands together and then take them apart, realizing that neither I or the next person can hear you. The one and only Mr. Chet M, and the M stands for Minton. Chet.
Hey, brother, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. I can't complain. I could complain, but nobody'd listen. I saw you out there in audience land, and I was like, I've got to set the line. You know, 1, you lock the target, 2, you set the line. And
well, thanks for bringing me on. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. How could I not grab the creative mastermind behind so many gorgeous pieces of art? And just drag you kicking and screaming on your website, chetmintonart.com. Was that it? Did I get that right?
chetmintonartist.com. Yeah.
chetmintonartist.com. So you guys go check that out. I still need to buy, because I walked past your booth. Gosh damn me. I walked past your booth at EggCon. I'm going to come back and get a Tomb of Horrors Tervis.
Yeah.
Gone. Just gone. So I need to get
we'll get you one.
But without the carrot that I accidentally stuck on the end of it there, guys. Go check him out. He's got great stuff. If you guys like what you see over here, then you're gonna love what you see over at Chet's website. You've done so much cool stuff. Now I got to know you by the classic tried and true method, how I meet all fantasy artists. I cyber stalked you over on Facebook, and
speaking of nudes.
Absolutely. And they're tastefully drawn nudes. Thank you for the folio. It's over here with the other art books. But
I think we met through Heidi and Eric.
I officially, yes. Like I said, I followed you and we had some interaction on Facebook, but our real getting to know one another was through Heidi and Eric. With you did damn near everything, right? So much gorgeous artwork for them. And I'm just noticing that you have diagrams of flayed human bodies on your wall. Chuck roast, T-bone, flank steak.
You need those good references when you don't have the actual flayed human in front of you.
Yes, it's a little less horrifying.
It's a lot better than seeing what's in his basement, where they have to put the lotion on, or they're going to get the hose again.
Lotion on the skin, or they also get the hose again.
Yeah.
A poor child. The Kickstarter is not live yet. That is December 14th. That goes live. So they can click for notifications to get emailed about that.
We appreciate anybody who signs up for the notify me upon launch the button, because that actually helps.
Yes, it does. It promotes it. It pushes it in visibility. That is, it makes it more visible. It doesn't push it into invisibility.
Right.
I just want to answer just a little technical question from Gonzalo Lira. A super sticker literally puts a little, you don't have to comment on it, sticker in the chat. A super chat, you can leave text. A super sticker is just kind of a faster thing. But I don't understand YouTube either. Don't worry.
Bill, as one of your paid subscribers, I do have a question.
Yes, sir. I have an answer.
Can I pay more not to get the monthly email tasteful pictures of you that you've been sending out?
No, in fact, if you pay me more, I send more. So I send physical ones to your house. But anyway, Chet, you've done. We were gushing about you earlier. You did the layout. You did the old school layout. I bet Chet knows why the old school module maps were blue, don't you, Chet?
Well, yeah, it was so you couldn't copy them and
got it in what?
Yeah.
Yes. Non-repro blue, non-repro blue, they call that. This is an absolute. This is all. By the way, those of you who might be sitting there watching and say, "Why doesn't he put the Kickstarter back up and show us more?" This is it. This is all you get right now till it launches. But otherwise, I would be scrolling through and we'd be looking at Chet's art.
Well, they can get. They actually can get more before it starts, and you can get more by following the Orange Cat Games Facebook page, which I'll give to Bill, and he can put in the chat there.
I will put it in chat. I will put that down in the description. If you're watching this between now and when the chat goes live and YouTube lets you see the chat replay, look down in the description and you'll see the link to it. So yeah, go shoot me that and I will paste that up on the screen so people can check that out. And if you don't have Faceboggle, well, stuff like this is a good reason at the very least to get a watch only kind of account. Bart Sound Lab, thank you very much. Have a lovely evening. Thank you for tuning in, my friend. It was lovely to have you here. So yeah, I'm gonna copy and we're gonna paste that right here into the chat. So those of you who have a Facebook account or want to get a Facebook account, go check it out and you can see more stuff. I'm not logged into Facebook on this machine. My studio box, that's the one social media that I cannot easily access over here. Let me see if it's global enough that I can open it up without Zuck and Co. Did I? Nope. Nope. That's gotta copy paste that again. If I can pull this up on screen for those of you maybe who are a little reluctant. All right, so there we go. I'm gonna close that. Yes, I can do that. No, Facebook, I don't want to log in. And let's add that to stage. Orange Cat Games. I will go ahead and disappear that for just a second.
If you scroll down there, you can see some of these Meet the Pre-Gen things that we posted so far. You can see the
lovely.
There's Emma Elfstopper. There's her miniature, and you also see the one for the mage below that. And we'll be releasing a couple of those every week or so.
Quite nice. Looking forward to seeing more of that. And thank you for telling us about that.
There's Miss America there. The Chet's.
Sorry about that. Yes, they have run out of patience with me just looking at stuff for free. So, but yeah, you guys can go over, check out the Facebook page and give it a look see. So I gotta ask Chet while he's here. I mean, how much screaming did Ron do at you? It's okay. I've got a minute.
Oh, here we go.
All right. So where do I even begin? It started off when Ron asked me to do the cover, and then it became the back cover. And I said, while we're doing this, why don't we do the pre-gen character portraits? So I said, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Next thing you know, I'm doing all the different rooms, all the different encounters. But anyway, yeah, no, we're having a great time putting this together, and we're finalizing just the last few things now, and just have to do some color. Yeah, I hear you, honey. Sorry, my cat's meowing at me.
No, I get it. I get it. My wife's cat for the longest time insisted on being here in the studio with me when I was live streaming, and then one day she just decided she'd had enough. But you can ask the old timers; they would see her tail just below the camera shot as she walked around on the table in front of me. But one thing I have always wanted to ask you, and this is kind of a generic thing, because there are so many cool projects for TTRPG, just TTRPGs by themselves, not to mention the other stuff you do. That I got to ask. You're in trouble with somebody out in the audience already, Chet. That better be page artwork on your easel. But we're all old timers, Joe Facetious. We are all old timers. But no. I was. I've often wondered, do you get any time to game, to actually sit down and play? I mean, like I said, so much stuff done with Heidi and Eric. I mean, how do you eke out time when you're out there knocking out all of this gorgeous artwork, man?
Yeah, I always try to make time to have a few games. I play a bi-weekly game up in Massachusetts at Matt Roberts' house, where we've been playing Shadow Dark. And then I play in a monthly game. I go out to Rhode Island to Scott Legault's house. He runs Rising Phoenix. I think you're familiar with.
Yes. Doesn't Scott play in the other game too?
Once in a great while, yes. Scott has come up to the tavern.
Oh yeah, I thought he was a fixture there. Yeah.
No, Ron, that's what the lights are connected to, folks. We'll keep working with him.
And then I'll play online games too. Like I'm playing in David Benavides' Troy City Mysteries, which is a modern kind of Harry Dresden styled detective wizard game. Which, that's going to be coming out on Kickstarter next year, which is great. He's teamed up with Solarian Games, so that's going to be a good one. And I did a little artwork for that.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I so many of my fellow grognards are like, oh, playing D&D online isn't really playing D&D, and why would you even bother? I would rather not play D&D than ever play an online game. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'll just tell the 11 people that are relying on me to DM them through the rest of the G, the D, and the Q series that I'm sorry, guys, this isn't real D&D. I guess I'm not friends with you anymore, and I won't do this because some rando on the internet was yelling at me saying, of course it's real D&D. I love to tell this story. Tim Kask, I think it was Tim Kask. I don't want to invoke his name if it's wrong.
I'm sure we all have a Tim Kask story.
I believe it was Tim Kask. Oh yeah. Although I will tell you, I stole the jam out of Tim's donut story after I tell you this, but I believe this is him though. He called Gary with a question about Dungeons and Dragons. And Tim was in Minneapolis and Gary was in Lake Geneva. And for those of you who are maybe a little bit young, You could be in the next neighborhood, and if it was in a different area code, you were paying $0.10 a minute if you called somebody. And it only got worse the further out you got. There was no, 1-800 numbers there. It just like, you're far away, you're gonna pay.
Oh yeah.
So here's Tim Kask. He calls Gary for a D&D rules clarification. This turns into a multi-hour single multi-hour phone conversation that then evolves into Gary and Tim, or whoever it was. I'm just going to say Tim. If I have this wrong and Tim Kask wants me to not ever invoke his name again, that's fine. But the phone conversation evolved into a multi-hour D&D session over the phone, solo D&D session over the phone. And that transmogrified into, well, why don't you just come out to Lake Geneva and work for TSR? So yes, telegaming has been a part of Dungeons and Dragons since Dungeons and Dragons existed. So I don't want to hear about, telegaming isn't real. It isn't real D&D. Yes, it the hell is. Shut your damn mouths.
Oh, and there was the mail-in turn-based gaming through the mail for
diplomacy by mail. Diplomacy by mail, baby.
I loved diplomacy by mail. Loved it.
Yeah. I mean, it was you absolute poker face for everybody. You had to try and learn by writing nuance to figure out what somebody might be doing.
I had a great experience with that when Alan Hammock was at TotalCon up in Massachusetts in Marlborough, and an older friend of mine asked me if I knew Alan, and I said, yeah, I'm good friends with him. And he said, I used to play by mail with Alan, and I wonder if he remembers me. So we went into the bar where, all good things, happen at a con. And I introduced them, and they talked for probably an hour and a half about the different adventure stuff that was going on that they were doing through the mail, which it was kind of neat, to be a small little part of that. It was one of those good memories you get.
Yeah, that is fantastic, man. And I remember once. I'll get to you guys asking me about the Kask story. I promise I'll get to that in a second. But there's an episode of the show, if you go back far enough, where I was doing a Let's Read, and I just picked something at random, and I picked a copy of, it was either a very early copy of The Dragon or a very late copy of the Strategic Review. And in those early magazines, they ran something called Mapping the Dungeons. And what it was is you could write to other people who were refereeing or looking to play Dungeons and Dragons or other games. And you'd list their names in the table, and you could connect with people. It was like a proto Twitter or Facebook, if you will. And as we're going on, reading this issue, we get to the Mapping the Dungeon features, and whose name is like right there in the mix, but Alan Hammock's. There's his old address in Alabama, so he was he was getting in there swinging right from the get-go. But real quick, because you guys are my guests, I don't want to dominate the conversation by any stretch. But I was at GaryCon in 2018, and I was going through the Legends of Wargaming room, and they're spread out on a table, or spread out on the floor. They've got a sand table set up, and they're playing. I think they were playing chainmail, what it was. And here's Tim Kask, and he's holding court, and there's a group of guys gathered around watching him play these games, and he's telling him the rules and everything, and what's going to happen in this turn and that turn. And he said something about the nature of the scenario, and it just unlocked the memory. And I said, oh, exactly. So the Teutonic Knights, this is the battle on the ice. This is when the Teutonic Knights charged the Russians, and they rode out onto the frozen lake, and the weight of the knights collapsed the horses or collapsed the horses through the ice and they drowned, and the Russian peasantry won. And there, of course, Sergei Eisenstein, that was in the famous Sergei Eisenstein film. And I guess Tim had been kind of saving that for a surprise for the Teutonic Knight slide to not know. And I guess that I guess, like I said, that kind of stole the jam out of Tim's donut. So that is my Tim Cask story for the evening. But it is hopefully I won't get a drink thrown on me or something if he's going to be at Page. But
no, I can confirm that he will not be at Page.
Okay.
Alan Hammock will be at Page.
Woohoo! Yeah. Hung out with that. Hopefully Alan won't throw a drink on me at Page.
Alan will not waste any Guinness.
No,
he may throw someone else's drink, but not his own.
Alan and I went over to the Bottle Club, the Lake Geneva Bottle Club, at the end of EggCon this past summer, and we were waiting for they were bringing in pizzas, and the waitress came in, and she sticks her head in the back room where we're all at, and says, "Everyone, in case you're curious," or maybe it was Heidi, I don't remember, but food was announced. And I slide off my stool at this bistro table. Alan's at the 12 o'clock. I'm at about the 3 o'clock. I've got pretty long legs. I take a couple of strides, and the next thing I know, Alan is, and I want to emphasize this, gently elbowing his way past me and goes, "You're not getting in front of me."
Yeah, that was a good party. I was there too.
And I remember. That was a lot of fun.
It took forever for them to deliver the pizzas, and they called them ahead of time to schedule it.
And Lake Geneva is smaller than my damn subdivision.
I felt bad for Heidi because she was, she was really upset, because she was really trying to, emphasize this last little get together right before the end of EggCon. But everybody was good.
Everybody was fine with it. The food was superb. The drink was amazing. I had zero problems with anything Eric and Heidi did. Heidi and Eric, however you want to put together. It was an amazing event they put together, and I know Paige is going to be equally amazing.
And at that party, Eric got smashed.
Yeah. I mean, I had a couple surgery myself, but Eric was. Yeah.
He'd been working the whole show, so it was good that he got to let loose.
Oh, they absolutely deserved it. So I guess what I'm saying, Ron, is as long as you don't put me between Alan and the buffet, I think Paige will be relatively violence free.
All right, mental note: have discussion with Alan about. He needs to calm down on his bullying of Bill.
Well, just put him at the front of the line for the cheesesteak special guest dinner.
Yeah,
I gotta admit, it's every man and woman for themselves at the cheesesteak dinner.
Hell yeah! You know what? I will not insult you. I will not insult you by saying, "Oh yeah, I've had a lot of Phillies before. I'm looking forward to that." I have had a lot of steak and cheese sandwiches before that were pretty good.
What the hell's a steak and cheese sandwich? What is that?
What
is that? Stop.
He's talking about those old steak-em.
He's showing a lack of knowledge by calling them.
I'm willingly showing my lack of knowledge. That's why I'm saying I haven't had a cheesesteak sandwich. I have had top roast beef, cooked, shredded up with cheese melted on it, served up with onions and green peppers, and it's quite good. I am looking forward to having a proper Philly cheesesteak at least once in my life. So whether I have it on my way in or on my way out, I am certainly looking forward to it. And all the other wonderful things, the fellowship, the gaming, videos, because I will be set up and I will drag Chet and Ron kicking and screaming into the interview booth and demand that you both say nice things about me on the internet. So and no, you may not blink twice if you feel
our own Tim Kaska stories.
Yes, we can. We absolutely can. I do have one more funny Alan Hammock story, but I'm going to share it with you guys like privately. It's not crass or anything. I just don't want to get too far off on a tangent.
I have a good Alan Hammock story.
Well, let's hear it because you're the guest. So let's hear you.
I can't. Chet knows the story.
Oh,
from Gamehole Con.
Trying to remember which story we're talking about now.
Down in the little area down there, and he decided he was going to talk to the person next to him. You don't remember?
I don't think I know about that one.
No, you know it. I'll tell you later.
Okay.
I'll fill you in later.
Okay. Well, now my curiosity is
not fit for this channel. You'd get demonetized.
I'd need a lot more supers to cover that one tonight, guys. So, as I have driven this bus straight into the ditch now, would either one of you gentlemen like to help get us back on track? Is there anything that you guys that we haven't gone over, talked about that you would like to, about the Kickstarter, about Paige, Chet, about the art you got going, anything at all? The floor is open.
Chet?
The Kickstarter is going to have some great stuff in it. There's going to be a great isometric map that's going to be an add-on, a tier level. That's going to be full color 11 by 17 map, which I've almost finished up with.
Poster map.
Poster map, yep. And then there's going to be an actual battle map, which are going to be almost like tiles that you can lay out as you're going through the dungeon and playing it. There's a lot of other great art that hasn't been revealed yet.
What we didn't talk about is this adventure. One of the ad options is going to be an old school illustration book, like from.
Oh, nice! Tomb of Horrors would have, or
exactly.
Expedition of the Barrier Peaks. Oh, I love those. Those are fantastic. I love those. Trivia time for both of you guys and anyone out there in the audience. I will. Let's see. A prize for this. And this is for Ron or for Chet. Let me see here. Let me go ahead and slide this off and go to single view for just a hot second. Whoops. Anyone who can answer this, I will lay upon you. Let's go over to Cam 3. I will send this to you in the mail, wherever you are in the world. An OD&D spine sticker. I have printed up so many of these for the OD&D reproduction sets that I do have extras. I will send you one of these if right now you can answer this question, and this goes for both Ron and Chet. A little bit of trivia tonight. And let me remove myself from solo view. I said, let me remove myself from solo view. There we go. What D&D module? And this is a tough one. This is a tough one because I am going to hold you to very particulars. I am going to hold you to very specifics. You will have to specify version. What D&D module had the first ever illustration booklet separate from the module itself? Numbered illustrations for encounter. What module had that? I will.
I'm going to say dungeon. I'm going to say separate of the book.
Now, when I say separate of the book, I mean separate pages. They could have been attached in the book. They could have been a separate booklet itself, but it wasn't like, Encounter 21 and then the illustration right underneath that block of text and so on. So
it's either C1 or S1. That it's just a matter of which one was published first.
I'm going to say that both of those are wrong.
Really?
Really. Chet.
I'm sorry, Ron. Ron just sent me which story for Ellen, and I remember now. Definitely
No,
not.
I want to know.
Definitely not show material.
That's fine. That's okay. I'm certainly not going to blurt it out. Poor Art Child, you are incorrect.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm splitting hairs on this one. Anyone else out in the audience? Chet, do you want to take a shot at it? You're an artist. You ought to be able to get this one easily.
Yeah. Drawing a blank here.
Do dee dee do do dee dee. I don't have a Jeopardy music timer. Sorry, that's as close as you're going to get. I don't think anybody's going to get this. So Poor Art Child and Ron, like I said, I printed a lot of these up. I will send you each one because I am splitting such fine hairs. It was the Tomb of Horrors, but it was the Tomb of Horrors that was illustrated by Tracy Lesh. It was not the published S1. Gary carried around what is commonly called the folio version from convention to convention and then shelved it until it was published later. But Tracy did those 28 illustrations in 21 days or something bonkers like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I think he said he got paid $40.
That sounds like my artwork for a page. I have 20 days and $40.
Was that ever published, or was that just was that just a tournament module?
It is not Unobtainium, the Art and Arcana of Visual History set. In fact, if I can do this without causing my entire office to fall apart, I will, but no promises. Let me see here. I've kind of got I have to move my pointer, which is a lovely fletched arrow that Thane Kyle, one of my Tuesday night regulars for AD&D, has had commissioned for me. So I no longer have to use a dowel. And now I have to move my live sign. Because if I just reached up and try and grab this Montana Mule choker of a box, it would be hilarious to you guys, not to me, because everything would fall and stuff would probably break. So let's put the live sign back. So the Art and Arcana, I'm going to zoom in on me a little bit here. This lovely box set. Chet has one. And his is still in the shrink wrap because he's a slacker and doesn't enjoy things.
Well, hold on. I have the other one opened.
But yes, that set, which Chet would know if he bothered to open it.
Didn't I give you one of those sets, Chet?
No.
What did I give you at EggCon? I gave you something at EggCon that was some kind of
EggCon. You gave me stuff to mail back to you.
No, it was something that I gave you two things. I thought one of them was.
Oh, the 25th anniversary Dungeons and Dragons silver.
The silver anniversary box set.
Yeah.
I've got one of those kicking around over here too.
I don't love you that much, Chet. What are you talking about?
You gave that to me. I have it over here somewhere.
Okay. All right.
But there is in this set, which in my opinion makes this set worth the $75 I think it costs, although it may be more now, is a tournament copy of the Tomb of Horrors. And Alan Lucian's module that inspired Tomb of Horrors, the Tomb of Rahotep, is also included. So there are two OD&D modules playable that come with a set. It makes it an actual gaming product. So Tracy did the illustration booklet, and here's Tracy's take. I'm not sure how well that's going to show up. That is Tracy's take on the Great Devil Face. Let me see if camera 3 will show at all decently. It's pointing at a bad angle, but yeah, there's Tracy's Great Devil Face. A lovely rendition. All the renditions of it are quite nice. So, but anyway, that was the trivia question. And Ron, I will bring you a sticker to Paige.
I appreciate that.
And a poor orc child. I will bring one to Chet also. I will bring one to Chet.
Well, thank you.
But a poor orc child, if you will, if you follow me on socials, or you can you can reach out to me, and I will get one to you via USPS. Hopefully you are here in the United States, and it won't cost me it won't cost me like $10 to mail it to you.
If you're not in the United States, it got lost in the mail.
Yeah. But anyway, gentlemen, listen, I have tormented you guys all evening. Don't fall. That almost tormented me. That's what I meant when I said it could be tragic comic if stuff falls. So put that there. Stay. Anyway,
guessing that happened to you live on the air already.
Oh my God, yes. Oh yeah. I reached up and grabbed a book once. This you can barely see it, but I have a what is it? The company, you can buy the molds from them and cast your own dungeon terrain. I have a tower that a friend of mine bought for me, and another friend of mine who's sadly no longer with us, he assembled it and painted it for me. And one day I was on the show and I was reaching up for a book, and I just caught the lip of the tower, and it fell out of sight. No one saw it, but it went off like a grenade. And I thought I thought I would never get it back together, but I got it back together. So it's funny sometimes to see those of you out there who get a chortle out of seeing me dump stuff on myself when I'm trying to bring things down to show. It was very nearly a heartbreaking moment. So, I mean, it was a heartbreaking moment, but I was able to fix it. But anyway, gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. Page attendance in 2025, 1829. Well, it's going to be at least 1830 this year, because my happy ass is going to be there.
No, it's going to be much higher. We're so far ahead of where we've been in the past at this point for pre-registration. I mean,
that's wonderful.
Yeah, it's way up, but we're probably going to hit 2,500. It's my guess, but we'll see.
Well, that's cool, and you've still got you still got months of registration. Well, I say months.
2 months. 2 months.
Yep. 2 months, basically.
Yeah, I could easily see close to 2,500. With the time now and walk-ups and late tickets. Yeah.
The walk-ups are always fun. I remember one year I was at a local con, and in the same hotel that weekend there was a wedding reception, and a lot of the groomsmen just kind of strolled over. It was a wargaming con, and they were checking it out, man. They were like, "This is cool."
I've got news for you. So we have sold out 3 hotels for Paige, right?
Yeah,
and we're working on a 4th one now. But at the first hotel where there is where the majority of the action happens, the one that's closest to the convention center, they had previously booked some rooms for people who were going to a wedding, right?
Yeah.
And they might have 15 of the rooms. And so I'm talking to the people at the hotel the other day about our 2027 dates that we've already have locked in. And I said, listen, you cannot book other groups to stay in the hotel. I said, you do not want to. I said, those people who are getting married, when they come back here, their marriage day is going to be like flawed and harmed by what they see when they get back to the hotel. I said, it's going to be a memory that they're not going to be able to erase.
TTRPG nerds, man.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm like, you should have sent them to another hotel. Oh, well, we didn't know, and this and that. And I'm like, well, what are you going to do for 27? You're like, nah, like you're the whole hotel, both of them. And I was like, okay. And then you can send anybody else to your third hotel, and then we'll fill in the rest there, and then we'll fill in the rest down the street. And so, yeah, we've had to establish room blocks with 4 different hotels for this thing.
This past year at Rising Phoenix, the hotel was half gamers and half a wedding reception. And in the evening time, the drunk gamers were singing karaoke in the bar, and then half the bar was people in tuxedos and suits and stuff. We all got along. No, we definitely didn't understand.
I'm not going to mention the convention, but I was recently at a convention within the last 2 years where there was a nightclub in the hotel, but not a nightclub that normal humanity would visit. It was a very rustic area, I'll just say. And you got the gamers walking up and down the hallways, and then you have the interior access from the hotel into the nightclub, and people are like kind of coming out of the nightclub to get like a little bit of air or whatever. Man, it was a bad scene. It was a bad scene. I'll just leave. Like, my memory of that convention will be that scene.
Was the money flowing?
Yeah.
Was it that convention?
As well.
It wasn't that convention. But
okay.
It was.
Kayla wasn't there?
No, Kayla wasn't there. No.
Yeah.
No.
Sorry, Bill. We have all these inside jokes.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Well, but I think stepping away with a smile on our face is the best way to do it, gentlemen. Listen, Ron, best of luck. Guys, get in on this Kickstarter right now. It is linked in the show description below. You need to go do that. You need to back this. You're going to get kick-ass work from Chet. You're going to get kick-ass minis done by Ron. You're going to get an absolutely amazing old school module. Come meet me at Page. Come say hi. I would love to see you there.
The convention's attorney is in the chat, just making stuff up right now. I hear Ron's got Overflow Gaming at Veteran Stadium. Like what?
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I think AZ Mountaineers dipped in the chat here before, but be that. Am I running a game? I don't know. Ron, am I running a game? I haven't gotten anything on the grid yet, but
no, he's not running a game.
They're shackling me to a sound booth. I'm not allowed to leave. I will receive painful electrical shocks if I try and actually do gaming stuff at the gaming con. So
you got to run a first edition game. Come on.
Yeah. I'll do it right there in the booth. I'll run it for people who are on the stream. Who knows? Anyway, so
we can roll dice when I'm in your booth.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So again, Ron, Chet, thanks for being a good sport and hopping on. It's that Delver effect. I just gesture and people just come right on the show. Thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. Thank you to our our two lovely guests. You gentlemen, please help yourselves to some schnapps and baklava in the green room. I'm going to go ahead and do this thing right here and send this group off to bed. It's late. You should be asleep. You're going to feel terrible tomorrow, the lot of you. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Listen, tune in tomorrow night for some first edition Gamma World when you'll hear me say, zap, 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 pew, pew. And then on Saturday, you can do whatever the hell you want. I won't be here. But, of all the people and things that I brought onto this show, folks, the one thing that I've never been able to pull is, of course, an owl bear. But who knows? Maybe one of these nights. Listen, take care of yourselves. I love you all. I mean it. Oh, and big thanks for the super tonight. And that really helps keep the lights on. Peace.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around. Some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle way off course? Naked as a toad all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me to the show.